Happy Star Wars Day. And if I may be so bold as to say, may the 4th be with you. Welcome to a different version of streaming Star Wars, the maximized, superior version of streaming Star Wars. Let's go with that. As you can see, if you're watching, it's me. You're used to me for streaming Star Wars, but this is also going out on the Bombadcast channel. So we're crossing the streams. Very Ghostbusters. It's against the rules. We're doing it anyhow.
Ooh, I got it right here.
Ooh. Pete is missing tonight, but I am thrilled to be joined by two of my favorite people in the entire world from the Bombadcast, Scotty J-Ro and Gerry, the Canon Junkie Cable himself. Gentlemen,
what is up?
Happy Star Wars Day.
May the 4th be with you.
Yes, and he is risen indeed. What do we say to that?
I don't think that's it.
I think that's not the one. That's not the one. My bad. But it's good to be here. It's great to be here.
The traditional and also with you, as the Mandalorian says in that one scene when he gets pulled over, and they say to him, "May the Force be with you," and he says, "And also with you."
My favorite thing, by the way, from today was the fact that we found out that Tamora Morrison dry shaves.
Yes,
incredible.
Deep cuts right off the bat.
Dry shave.
Dry shaves. There it is.
That's how tough he is.
Gentlemen, have you had a thrilling, exciting, fantastic Star Wars Day?
Amazing. Kind of stressful. I'll tell you about that later. Gerry, how about yours? Was it good?
It was pretty good. Like, I think, Scotty, me and you had a ton of work to do today, actual physical
truly
real world earthly work.
Yes.
And I snuck away to my car. It was I'm taking medication. And I took my medication, but I also watched the Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer.
Yeah.
But
how many times?
Honestly, it's only once that time, but I've watched it since I've been home,
Of course.
I had a lot to catch up on. I had a late day at work today. I had to I had to do it's not Moon Knight Day, it's Star Wars Day, but I had to watch Moon Knight, I had to watch The Gallery, and then I haven't even finished Revenge of the Sith, but anyway, here we are. Mike, how was your Star Wars Day?
Who, me?
Yeah. Can I ask questions?
No.
Yeah, of course you can ask questions.
I completely threw it off, right?
To be perfectly honest, I was so hypnotized by the story you were telling that I didn't hear you say my name when you asked that question.
It is
dry shave.
Very dirty.
Indeed, dirty.
Dry shave.
Yes, my Star Wars Day was also fantastic. I am halfway through the Moon Knight finale, which is not about Star Wars, but I had priorities. I had to get to that Kenobi trailer, which dropped hot while I was driving my kids to school this morning.
We all had something going on.
Yeah, we were all tied up. And then I got to the Gallery episode, which was next in line. And then I also did get a chance to check out the Apple Skywalker sound thing, which is about 16 minutes. It's phenomenal.
Really good.
So I got to all that. And then I hit about half of Moon Knight this afternoon. But it's been a lot of fun. I had to work all day and do normal grown-up things. But this is how I'm celebrating, hanging out with you and hanging out with a bunch of our friends that are here in the live chat. We've got a bunch of folks hanging out. Again, we're sending this out on the ATG cast feed and the Bombad stream. So we're kind of, maximizing the fun tonight, recapping the day,
doubling it up.
But I feel like we can't go any farther without doing two things.
Okay.
First of all, we have a surprise guest that was not in the plans. I got a very strange message because this is how he operates.
Yeah.
Very shortly before we went on air, but I'm going to bring on our guest. And the other thing that we need to do is we do need to have a toast because it is a holiday we're celebrating. And that is also something that's very streaming Star Wars. So first of all, I'm thrilled to welcome to the show our good friend, George.
Hey, how's everybody doing? I don't know what I'm doing here, but it's exciting. I'll give you that. It's exciting.
Well, if I can be so bold as to point out, Clanker,
yes,
we hear you all the time, certainly on the ATG streams, talking about, reading our reviews and, helping us, sell our Patreon and involve
brilliant prose right there. Brilliant stuff.
It's amazing. It's brilliant. And you do such a good job. But one of the things that you routinely complain about is not getting to be a part of the main show.
Let me tell you, I don't know what. Look, first of all, Fletz couldn't make it here. It's May the 4th, for God's sakes. What else is he doing? So anyway,
some people don't want it bad enough.
I guess not. I guess not. But I'm honored to be here. I'm also impressed that you got Zach Galifianakis as a guest tonight, which is amazing. Who knew he was such a Star Wars fan? It's amazing.
Oh. Well, you know, I love Star Wars and I love Skittles. So
right.
Well, no, seriously, thank you for having me here. I'm excited. I don't know what I'm going to add, but I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to be anywhere.
We're going to roll with it. We're going to roll with it. We'll consider this. We'll consider this your audition for future opportunities, and I'll be sure to report back to Pete and let him know how it goes.
Well, like most droids, they got to do the hard labor. They've got to do the work for us, like the computer doing the work for us right now. And I know I'm sorry.
You mean like carry the show for you? Sure, I can do that.
Well, because Clanker, we haven't worked with Clanker since he hosted trivia for us, and if I remember that correctly,
yes.
We beat Scotty and Spooksker.
You mean Jared?
Right?
Jared.
Oh no, I'm sorry. No. Oh, that's right. We beat Jared and Spotchka.
I
guess I beat Spotchka.
But it's interesting because he doesn't seem to like me very much either. Jared has issues with me, and
that's right.
And frankly,
as indicated on the screen right now, Jared has some issues.
And you know what? He wants to challenge me in trivia, which is hilarious because I don't even know your names. So I think he's got a pretty good chance at this point.
Well, but at the same time, you're a freaking computer, so like it's all just in there.
Yeah, I know a couple things. Right? I know a couple things.
Well, Clanker, let's do this because we are celebrating today, and we are thrilled that you're here with us.
Thank you.
I don't know. I don't think alcohol is really your deal, but if you've got like a quart of motor oil or something nearby,
I'm sure I can find something.
We like to raise a toast, and it is a holiday, Star Wars Day. So to Clanker, to Scotty, to Gerry, to all of the lovely folks joining us in the live chat, cheers and happy Star Wars Day.
Cheers.
To the Republic.
Cheers.
To the Republic. Well, let's start with this. Clanker, how did you celebrate Star Wars Day?
Like I celebrate every day. I basically sat in the corner and waited for Pete to turn something on that I could work on for him. No, I was sitting here and I noticed that the live stream was clicking in, and I was like, oh, good, something for me to do. And of course, he wasn't here, so I did it. But no, I did watch all the appropriate content, so I can comment on it. And I was excited. I love this day as much as the next guy.
Sure.
Clanker, when you watch any of this content, does it ever upset you to see your fellow B1 battle droids get cut down so easily? Do you feel that you could also be, a number like, in the Phantom Menace? I mean, we've got like hundreds of these battle droids getting cut down. Do you think that could have been you at some point?
I always like to remind people that the story is always told by the victors, right? So it wasn't quite as easy as they made it look. I mean, hey, I survived, so.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair.
That's true.
That's fair.
Well, one of the big things that we got today was the Kenobi trailer. And I think it's probably fair to assume this is probably our final trailer. We got what was titled as the teaser trailer several weeks ago. That trailer dropped this morning. I'd love to go around and maybe let's start with Scotty and just kind of get, some initial reactions, thoughts, things that you saw that you liked. Of course, we got a lot of similar footage, but what were the things that, clicked the buttons for you on this trailer we got this morning?
For me personally, obviously we're gonna stay away from spoilers in terms of what they reveal. I think there's a lot in this trailer that could be broken down, on a very, very deep level. Some things that we got, like, was not expecting, Joel Edgerton to like have the Owen voice, because he had the Owen voice, and that was nuts. I was like, oh my god, like, because we barely heard him talk in Attack of the Clones and any at all in Revenge of the Sith. So I'm watching it, and he like does the Owen Lars voice, and it like threw me off. I'm like, oh my god! And he has an incredible diss. He destroyed him. He was probably sitting in the shower every day thinking, like, when I finally talk to this dude, what is my comeback going to be?
Say.
Cool, and he wrecked him. That was a cool moment. Obviously, more Kenobi dialogue, which we really didn't get that much of in the first trailer. Reva, like having a lot of really big moments, already a name that like I'm comfortable with saying because of how much dialogue she got in this trailer. The Grand Inquisitor looked way better, not the diss on the first trailer, but like the whole body shot made a lot more sense when I saw it that way. Another big highlight was watching Vader get his armor put on. That was incredible. So those are the big ones. Those are the ones that kind of set me over the edge in terms of what I'm excited for. And I'm thinking, y'all, I really am thinking this is within the first 2 episodes or maybe the first 3, because who's to say what we're going to get later? Because that was
and that's kind of become a tradition both with Star Wars and Marvel stuff. The trailers that we got for Mando stuff, the majority of it was the first 1 or 2 episodes, which we like. And I was talking to somebody in a text message who said they were trying to avoid the trailers because they wanted to remain pure, like they said. But I feel like if it's released officially through some, Lucasfilm Star Wars channels, I trust they're not going to give too much away, that they know what they're doing. They're going to keep enough back to, let it still be a good experience. Well, Clanker, you said that you've kind of kept up with stuff throughout the day today. What are your thoughts about this Kenobi trailer?
I just want the show to start already. There's been so much talk about it. I'm ready for it to just go. But no, I would agree with Scotty. It was my favorite part was Owen giving Kenobi some lip. I mean, that guy needs a little bit of pushback. So I thought that was very cool. And of course, watching lightsabers is always, it's a little traumatic. I'm not going to lie. It does bring back some bad memories, but it's great to see them in action. And it's nothing says Star Wars more than lightsabers.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And it was nice. Yeah, you're right. They didn't show any glamour shots of it yet, but they showed a few things that I thought, were suitable. Like they showed him with the blaster a lot. And you know what?
I was going to say there's a lot of Kenobi blaster shots.
Blaster.
Yeah, I was dreading a shot of, him and Vader clashing sabers. Like that must be saved for the show.
Save it.
That's going to be a huge moment. And we know we're going to get it. Nothing but all these t-shirt marketings that came out today kind of prove that. So like, that's going to be a great day to be a Star Wars. That's going to be an unreal day to be a Star Wars fan.
Absolutely. And we're going to talk about the day that those 2 episodes drop here in just a little bit. But Gerry, what about you? What were the things that, lit up on your radar for this trailer?
Well, I mean, we can't give away too many spoilers, I guess, or anything like that. Not that I don't think that much was spoiled or anything, but like, so. I mean, we all have touched on, I feel like, the moment between Owen and Obi-Wan. That honestly is the moment that makes the trailer. Yeah. That was the moment that made me gasp or made me go, whoa, okay, like we're getting an actual interaction between them. And it's what we've gotten in the comics so far. It's true to what we're getting. It's kind of where it's going there. Yeah. But to actually hear the lines delivered by Joel Edgerton to Ewan McGregor, and to see the sad look on Obi-Wan's face with what is said. Okay, can we can't reveal what's said, I guess, can we? Or not? Or anything like that?
What do you mean?
Yeah,
we're not going to give us spoilers.
It's a trailer.
In the trailer, it's fair game.
All right. Scotty said something about spoilers, so now I'm all
nervous. No, I meant
confused too, Gerry. I don't mind telling you.
Yeah.
I've read a couple of leaks.
About spoilers? It's a trailer.
Oh yeah, stay away from leaks for sure. I mean,
anything that's in the trailer is fair game.
Yeah, talk.
Listen, I haven't touched leaks, but let me tell you, the vegetable nor the Reddit ones.
Reminds me of a joke. No, maybe not for here.
Yeah, probably not. No, like just that the whole you were right. Like it is like something that he's been thinking about for a while. But just to hear the way that he says it, which again is very Uncle Owen, but just like the brutality of what was it like? Obi-Wan saying like, when the time comes, he needs to be trained.
He must be trained
about Luke.
Yep.
And just to have that, like you trained his father, is just it's so gut wrenching. It is so gut wrenching.
Yep.
Sick burn.
It literally is. Burn, bro. Honestly, like my favorite part of everything, like, is the it's the poster they released for this. Oh, do you see that? Like the poster where like you've got. Are we getting Vader on Tatooine?
I don't know,
because he's on a cliff with the twin sons behind him. I'm thinking Vader gets so close, and this, I mean, no, that maybe that's what,
Yeah.
Maybe that's the word we've been talking about, an inciting incident or like something that like makes Obi-Wan like scares him straight or whatever.
Oh, that's pretty good. Brian.
That's like that Vader would get that close would be insane.
Yes, it would. And I think what's interesting is all the Inquisitors are on Tatooine. Who are they looking for? Why are they all there? Like, it had a lot of questions raised, you know, and another cool thing too is you got, you know, Reva on the I forget the name of the planet. I know they already revealed it, but the one with all the billboards and the, you know,
the noodle
looking planet.
The planet with the noodles restaurants. Yes.
And you can literally, and you can see the scene where the, you know, the blasters are firing from her angle, and I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be intense. A lot of cat and mouse, and I think we haven't had that in Star Wars in a while, where someone's being chased, right, the entire time. Someone's on the run. You know, I'm very eager to see how that goes.
And I could see them setting it up, and I think we talked about this a few weeks ago when we talked about the initial trailer. I can see them setting it up as the heat shows up on Tatooine and Obi-Wan has to leave to draw it away from Luke. So he goes to whatever that planet is to draw the attention away, you know, potentially fake his death, sneak back, hide out, watch over, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I just wanted
That's
to
the first time he's faked his death. Just saying, no spoilers.
That's right.
But, you know,
been there before. You know, and I just want to echo what you guys say, certainly about the Owen thing. And that's what I said after the first trailer. I'm so intrigued by that dynamic, and I'm so intrigued to see that fleshed out, because when we get Owen and Luke in New Hope, you know, he's a grouchy old, that old wizard, that, you know, he's very dismissive. Like, don't bring it up. We've talked about this before. I've told you not to talk about it. Like, there's a parental dynamic that you can, and so to get that developed, I will say the other thing outside of that really made me excited, and there was a comment, I was going to bring it back up. Matthew pointed it out. Did you see the quick shot of what looked like another Jedi? Yeah. That would be our good friend Kumail Nanjiani. And
I was so excited he wasn't the droid.
I am too.
For him.
Me too. Exactly. I texted somebody today and said he's not a droid.
Oh, that's nice. That's great. What's wrong with it being a droid? Okay.
There's only room for one, Clanker. That's all.
You guys are sweet. I know you're full of crap, but I appreciate it.
But yes, I was excited to see Kumail show up in this trailer because I have been curious. I love him as an actor. Silicon Valley, The Big Sick, all the stuff that he's been in. And so I was excited to see
Eternals, which, wow.
Yeah. I still haven't watched past the first 30 minutes of that.
Yeah, good luck with that.
All right, I'm gone.
Yeah.
Sorry. I got one word for you guys. Morbius.
I like that one.
Yeah, we're not going there tonight.
Kick him out.
That's right. We're done.
Bounty hunters. Just saying.
Well, I mean, speaking of droids, nobody said we saw Forlom. My old buddy Forlom looked like he made an appearance, right?
Right.
Clanker, did you work with Forlom back in the day?
No, but you know, it's all the first droids are kind of friendly. Like we see each other at parties, and we give each other a look. We know.
That's right. Yeah, we know the real ones.
Like, hey, what's up, man? So Forlom, you think we're gonna get like? How many more bounty hunters do you think we're gonna get? You think we're gonna get like a Zuckuss to go with?
Forlom and Zuckuss go together like peanut butter and I don't know. I can't think of anything too creative, but yeah, they were always together. Always together.
That's right.
It's true. It's true.
Get a little bit of that. I know my brain went to Cad Bane. Just saying.
No, that would be cool. That'd be cool.
I had an interesting thought earlier today, and I guess this will shift me into the next thing that I kind of wanted to just pick you guys' brain about. Seeing this second trailer, we didn't get a ton of new footage, but we certainly did get some new tidbits, some new things to go along with what we've seen already. Does it shift or change any of your theories you may have had where you think the story's going, that kind of thing? For me, the one thing that I thought kind of clicked with me was timelines. Yep. We know that this is supposed to be about 10 BBY, if I'm not mistaken. So we're looking at, about 10 years before New Hope. That does put that in the same window as Solo.
Yeah.
Because Solo, I think, was 9 years BBY, like 10-9. Like there's just enough of a proximity that, let's say there's a call to all, because you hear Reva, you said it, Scotty, talking about the dialogue, and she says, I want every bounty hunter, and whatever it is that she says, they're looking for him and they're calling in all their chips. So what if they call in Kira and some representation of Crimson Dawn? or other scumbags, scoundrels, whoever, as a part of this chase. The timeline works. I don't know that we're going to get that, but we've also been teased by Deborah Chow with some fun cameos, some surprising cameos, whatever it was she said in that interview.
Well, I look forward to whoever shows up. You know, it could be anyone, and I think we're gonna get like even some actor cameos, not just some, you know, like Star Wars character cameos. Because a lot of this comes down to the fact that this is like, and we said it on a little Bombadcast, May the 4th episode. This is going to be our generation's version of The Force Awakens, right? Mm-hmm. So put all your eggs in this basket. I think it's going to be fine, right? Like, you do everything you can to, like, you know, kind of round this story out. Do everything you can to bring in some characters we don't expect to see. Like, you know, is R2 going to be there, right? Like, is 3PO going to show like that? This is how you do it, you know? Maybe that little look that, you know, Ben Kenobi gives R2 in A New Hope is going to make more sense now. Why they don't bring up something I'd hope that's just part of the show. Give us answers A New Hope didn't. Like, Alden Diaz and Kelly Knox talked on the Octa Radio about this. I never thought about this. Like, here's a story thread I never thought about. In between Revenge of the Sith, You're My Brother, Anakin, all the way to A New Hope, he's like, "Now we got to kill Vader in A New Hope." Like, that's his goal. Mm-hmm. This could be the show that shows us why he became that way. Because there could be a moment in this show where we're sitting there going, this makes sense why Ben Kenobi wanted Luke to go and face his father. Like, this just makes sense, right? So I'm hoping for more story beats rather than cameos. Like, I hope there's some things that are like story related that are going to make more sense for A New Hope and connect, obviously, Revenge of the Sith and the whole overarching, you know, 10 years or the 20 years between those things just perfectly. I think it'd be awesome.
What if we have Jabba the Hutt, Scotty, introducing Han Solo to Greedo? Get that first introduction, right? And then after he, like, or Greedo introduces himself, and then Jabba comes to Han at the Falcon and says, "Hey, have you met Greedo?" And it's the exact same scene. But, you know, like,
only if that episode is actually entitled McClunky.
What if Solo is hired to try to find Kenobi, and that's how Chewbacca and Obi-Wan know each other in A New Hope?
That's ridiculous. That's pretty cool, though.
Hey, yeah, that'll be good.
That's my theory.
I love it. Man. I love it. Well, so we're excited for that, and we're what, 3 weeks away? I mean,
y'all
rolling up on Celebration, the Friday of Star Wars Celebration, which, again, sorry to bring up a sore subject. Clanker,
I will not be there. Thank you very much.
3 of the 4 people on the screen will be at Celebration on that Friday when these 2 episodes drop. And the excitement is real. I mean, we're right there. We're knocking on the door.
Yay.
You get to run out of the house, don't you, while Pete's gone?
That's true.
He's gonna leave me in a corner. I know it, and don't feel bad for me though. I'm fine. Never mind me.
You sound really.
We'll have him bring you a corn dog or something.
That's excellent.
Well, that's fantastic. Well, there's a couple of other fun things that dropped from a media standpoint, and I don't know if any of you have had a chance to check them out. We got the Book of Boba Fett gallery episode. Did anybody get to watch that?
Yes.
Mr. Scotty, what did you think about that? What were your big pulls?
There's a couple of things I will address about this, and I want to talk about a Bombadcast at some point as well. But in particular, you know, we've had some really cool moments in this BTS gallery. Obviously, seeing Mark back with Rosario Dawson, with Graham, the guy that's his body double for the show. To see all of that, y'all, was so incredible because so many people, and look, I'm not gonna call any names out, but they're like, I hate that they're gonna make digital acting a thing, that it's all synthetic. This is the furthest thing from it. Not only is Mark approving it, he is there on set. He is in the costume. They made 2 different costumes for this dude. They made one for Mark, who's, you know, in his 60s, and then they made one for Graham, who is probably in his 20s. Like, it's unbelievable how much they care. Then Dave, and you see Dave Filoni and Mark Hamill collaborating on a scene. I'm like, who would have thought we'd ever get
super,
this?
Super collaborative.
It's super collaborative, and like it's so much more than a digital voice. It's so much more than a deep fake now. They like said, we do a digital face, we do a deep fake, we do mark tracking, we do gram tracking, we make a combination of all four of those things to get the shot. And I'm like, this is why this episode, Chapter 6 of Boba Fett, looks so much better than Season 2's finale. It just looked so much more convincing. And like I couldn't believe what I was watching in those moments. And my favorite thing is they spent a lot of time on the technology, talking about the technology. And
they made it a point to talk about how it has gotten better. They talked about when they did it in Mando Season 2. He said we could only do so much. I forget the name of the guy that was talking about it, but he made it a point in one section of that show to say, you know, for this time, we only could do this because the technology wasn't there yet. But this technology is growing and evolving literally every day to the point where he's running and flipping in the woods again and doing training scenes and action scenes. And, you know, it does ask some weird questions about using somebody if they're not alive and that kind of thing, which I don't think that's where this is. But like you said, and Pete and I texted about this earlier today, the collaborative nature of Mark Hamill being there on set and a part of the process, like it reminded me of the amount of stuff that they continued to have Peter Mayhew do, even when he was old and couldn't stand up and couldn't be, you know, and he and Jonas worked side by side. And if it was a sitting down scene in the Falcon, they plugged him into that spot and made it work. But it's the recognition and the honoring of the legacy of these characters, which I think is really special, and it shows through in the show making.
And you give Mark Hamill another chance to play a character that he loves playing. And
correct.
And you know what's crazy? I'm under the belief now that Lucasfilm puts out certain leaks, so things like this don't leak. And it's so under the table, right? How all this kind of just moves together, and like that's something. Luke being in this show was something that should have totally gotten out there, but somehow they still shoot these things without anyone knowing, and you can see it on their faces. How special this is, how secret this is, and it's just, I don't know. I'm and like, remember the part where they're making Grogu flip and how much time they're focusing on that? I'm like,
they're trying to make it do as much practical as possible.
Well, and I loved when he said, even if they weren't involved in a scene, those puppeteers were off in the corner trying to figure out how to make him do a backflip. They were like literally, you know, when you get committed to something, I know you guys do this. Pete and I text about it all the time. I'm never satisfied when I'm creating something, so I'm always trying to figure out, how do I make it better? How do I improve it? And that goes into this filmmaking. One of the biggest things that struck me, and they cover it certainly in that shot at the very end where the entire cast and crew is under that little cover and they take the big picture. And he says something like, we've got a bunch of Jedis who love, like, the passion that goes into making these kind of shows with these folks that are doing this stuff over and over again. It creates that environment where you go, we love it and we want it to be better. So that's where your passion, and that it shows through in the making of the shows.
It's incredible. Right. My other favorite moment, if you don't
mind, go ahead, Scotty.
My favorite moment that actually brought tears to my eyes, it was something that I don't think people would be as emotional by, but watching Doug Chang fly the N1 Starfighter hit so hard, because you got to think, I mean, 20 years ago, more than that, 23 years ago, or 22, I don't remember. 23.
A long time ago.
When the Phantom Menace was made and he made that original design, right? I mean, him and George,
it was a production sketch. It wasn't even originally a movie sketch.
And like, to have that be a thing, and then to see your work, kind of like Ralph McQuarrie, to see the work revitalized and changed, kind of like a Hot Rod would be, like, it was just so beautiful. And you could see how happy he was in the cockpit of an N1 Star. It was like, I was like that. I love that guy, number one. But number two, like that, could you imagine having that experience where it's something you've made, something you're proud of, and it gets
that's like
to come
his
back.
baby.
It's his thing. He provided that design for Star Wars, and of course it's going to live on. I don't think they're blowing that one up. And there may be a trope they do, but I really don't think when you spend a whole episode focusing on it, you know?
Not for a couple of seasons, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Clanker.
But, oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I'm going to come to you next, Jerry. Clanker, did you have...
Let the robot talk. It's fine.
That's right. the droid is an equal part of this show tonight. Clanker,
Exactly.
did you watch the gallery episode? Were there some things that, from your certainly very unique experience, stood out to you in watching that today?
Yeah, I did watch it, and like Scotty, there was a moment that brought a tear to my eye, whatever. I don't have either, so it doesn't matter. But I was choked up when I watched the beautiful Ming-Na Wen. So excited to see a fellow droid in 88. And the very fact that she is such a nerd, like the three of you, it was fantastic to see that moment. And it really tugged at the heartstrings that if I had, they would be tugged.
I agree with you. That was one of those moments that stood out to me as well. When she was like, I'm having a hard time focusing because 88 is right in front of me. And was it Matthew Wood that did 88?
No, it was Matthew Berry.
Matthew Berry.
Yeah. From What We Do in the Shadows, the TV show.
Yes.
As well, so, yes.
Yeah. Anyhow, Gerry, what about you for that gallery episode?
Well, the thing that really so I was like waiting for Cad Bane to show up. Okay.
Yeah.
In this thing, and just like in Book of Boba Fett, he shows up at the very end.
Yep.
And I found it it was very cool. I forget like how practical it is. Like, you know, like that was the actor's actual mouth.
So crazy.
I think they said was insane. But then the way that I forget who was talking, they were describing the prosthetics that they created for the teeth, and I won't reveal everything, but we made them in a way that they would push the lips out so it would look more like and I'm like, what'd you do? What'd you do to this man's mouth? What are the industry secrets with a pair of fake teeth that push your lips out that you're trying to keep in? Like, what is it? Like, did you surgically graft these to this man? Does he have those teeth for the rest of his life now? What's going on? Anyway,
that's pretty good.
These are the questions I ask myself when I watch things. Yes.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, it's just fun. And I've said it many times on my show, many times, basically anytime somebody puts a microphone in front of my face. I'm such a sucker for process and behind the scenes and how are things made. And to hear people like, honestly, Robert Rodriguez, who is not my favorite director. And we talked about that in those early episodes when Pete and I were doing the Friday night streaming Star Wars and Book of Boba Fett. You know, his episodes were not my favorite episodes. The season 2 Mando episode, where Boba goes ham with the gaffy stick before he gets the armor back. That was fantastic. I love that episode. But the more colorful, you know, some of that kind of stuff did not work as well for me in Book of Boba Fett. But again, the passion and the desire, and honestly, it made me listening to him talk about the finale. And when he went to,
I was gonna say,
when he wanted to, he was like, I want to direct this, but he assumed that, you know, Favreau would do it. And he went to him. Watching that segment of that made me go, I really want to go watch that finale again. Like, I haven't yet.
You know what? It's funny you bring that up. I was on the phone with Eric Conovan earlier, and we were talking particularly about how that finale was underwhelming, but for the reason because Chapter 6 was so unbelievable that we got that. So we all kind of expected that Chapter 7 was going to be just as huge, right? But it really wasn't in terms of, you know, cameos, in terms of moments. But you got to think, if you wanted to list that episode, you've got obviously Cad Bane's really involved in it. Okay, you even got those 2 giant droid battles, right? You've got the Rancor there. You've got, you know, Mando showing up, Grogu showing up. Like it was just an insane, you know, feat that they had to, you know, hit with that last episode, and like it worked. And like hearing them talk about it so passionately kind of made me go, you know what? That really was a great finale. As much as it wasn't what I thought it was going to be, I still got so much more out of it after hearing them talk about it, right? After them building it created
a post-appreciation for me that I didn't necessarily have. And even, what's his name? Machete.
Danny Trejo.
Danny Trejo, his little bit talking, and I say little because we've learned recently that Danny Trejo is sneaky short. He's like 5'6".
Yeah.
I think it was actually Michael Knipp's brother-in-law who ran into him somewhere and got a picture with him a couple months ago. But hearing him talk about the Rancor and dogs, and like there's a passion there, and there's an enjoyment, and there's a like I get to do this thing that I love. And, you know, like you said, the Ming Na Wen part, like
he's such a sweetheart.
Passion shines through. And when there's passion about this kind of stuff, it just makes it that much more fun. And so I really do think I have a different appreciation even now. I will say I was disappointed that we didn't get Timothy Oliphant talk in the gallery episode.
Oh, yeah.
But I also think they're keeping those cards close to the vest because obviously there's more to come for Cobb Vanth.
Right.
Yeah, that was interesting. They also didn't bring up, I don't know if it was because of maybe the quote unquote discourse it calls, but no, nothing about the bikes, which I thought was going to be a focus at one point. That kind of surprised me. I was like, nothing about the bikes, you know?
Well, and they showed it in that shot with Robert Rodriguez, the green one, and putting his hands on it and setting up that shot.
Yeah.
But
I will say Tamora Morrison's commitment to the role was just so much a part of that, you know, documentary, right? Like the coolest thing ever. And you know what? I really hope we get it one day. None of us in this group or in this chat have ever read a, you know, Jon Favreau Star Wars script. And to hear Tamora Morrison read that script out loud, I was like, yo, that would be one of the coolest. Like, imagine like
it was really
getting a copy of that one day, right? And like getting a chance to read that because it was so epic, you know? And I was like, my God, like that's, you know, now I am part of their group, you know? Like it was so cool to see it play out verbally rather than have to interpret the whole Gaffy step making session, the whole, you know, the whole tribal dance at the end. Like that was just, man, that was beautiful. Like I cannot wait. I hope they publish those scripts. We need to read those because they're so good.
And you could tell it spoke to him, and to have that long-term connection. And like when he talks about George Lucas saying, hey, if you do this thing, you should get Tamora Morrison back to do it. Like, again, it's the
like
George
they
Lucas
ever thought about.
moment.
Yeah, exactly.
You know
Jay.
what else wasn't addressed?
Well, just to say,
oh, I'm sorry, Jerry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
It's good. I was just gonna say, like they would choose to cast someone else. Is my thing that George thought that they would be like, hey, you know, don't cast someone else because I like Tim. He's a good guy.
I was surprised, and I'm thinking they're waiting for the second season or something down the line. Nothing about the Daniel Logan deep fake moments were mentioned either, which I thought was interesting because that was the establishing shot for the whole show. And I thought they were going to do a return to Camino, a discussion about, you know, whatever, anything dealing with that. But they kind of left that, you know, up in the air. So I'm hoping we get something later down the lines of like, what was that artistic choice? I mean, we know what it is, but like, kind of tell us what was the decision from a Favreau Filoni point of view. And Steph Green, by the way, Steph Green's my new favorite. Like,
and I love
how she cared.
Yeah, and same for me with Bryce Dallas Howard, and I've said that since she's been involved from the beginning. But
man,
I was watching it while I was working in my office today. I was putting some furniture together for something at work, and so I had an earbud in, and I had my phone on my desk. And as soon as she started talking, I had to stop what I was doing and go listen because I'm so attuned to. I mean, I just think she's great, and I love what she's doing with Star Wars. So I want to see more of that. I want to see more of that involvement. Clanker, did you have any other final thoughts on the gallery episode?
Well, I did want to comment that what a lot of people may not be aware of is the dental program available for clones is incredible. Did you see Tamora Morrison's teeth? Holy cow!
They're pretty legit.
Got a good set of pearls.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right. You're definitely right. Well, I want to do a couple of quick other things, and then we did say to our friends that are tuning in tonight, we want to hear how they celebrated Star Wars Day. So we're going to put the link up in just a few minutes in the chat. See if anybody wants to jump in, join us, tell us about their Star Wars Day. But before we do that, another thing that dropped today, just kind of quickly, was the Skywalker sound documentary. I was worried it was going to be an Apple TV Plus exclusive. It's not.
Me
it's
too.
on YouTube.
Yes.
And my Apple TV Plus literally expired last week, and that's why I was mad about it.
Oh, man.
But it's on YouTube. It's about 16 minutes. And again, for people who are a sucker for behind the scenes, process story, all that kind of stuff,
cool.
It's really great. And I mean, just to see them sitting there, they're talking about Foley, they're talking about editing. And of course, it's a Mac commercial, which is ultimately what's behind it.
Yeah.
But it's phenomenal. And it's not just Star Wars. They talk about Encanto, they show some Marvel stuff.
You know,
that
it's
was
funny.
Really great.
Primarily focus on the prequels, which really
a lot of
surprised.
prequels.
I was like,
I think
what?
that's Kenobi nods. I mean, they get him.
You
with,
might be right. Yeah,
Boga,
you might be right.
That scene with Boga, showing it with the audio dropped out. All that kind of stuff.
Pretty cool.
there's a little cross promotion going on for the show there, but it was still really cool. So I don't know if y'all have anything you want to add to that one in particular, but it was a fun
I have one
16
thing I will
minutes.
say. It was cool to listen to Star Wars with just the sounds, dialogue, right? No music over it. I've never seen that scene for Revenge of the Sith where they show the clone vehicles flying into an Utapau with just the sound. I'm like, man, I would honestly consider watching a Star Wars movie that is sound only and also, music only, where if they had those, like they did with TLJ, like that'd be really cool just because it's an interesting way to approach it, and there's at one point they're like, yeah, we have about 100 sounds layered for just these like few seconds. I'm like, someone sat there and was like, okay, that blaster there, boom, that, like, I'm like, that is insane. And also I love seeing the workload. Clanker. Oh, Clanker, you would have loved it. You would have loved it.
Another droid entirely.
They showed nothing but a bunch of I guess you could say computers, just like all in their server room. I mean, you would have gotten it. You would have blew a bolt.
There's so many places to go with that line that I'm gonna pass. But thank you very much for thinking of me.
You're welcome, Cranker.
Well, anything else before we get to some of our callers? If we've got some folks that want to jump in, tell us how they've celebrated their Star Wars Day. We did put the link in the chat. We would love for you to join us. We get lots of different fun things on Star Wars Day. We get merch drops. We get announcements of merch drops. Honestly, I think one of the fun things for Celebration was there's a panel that's going to be on Friday that is the what's it called? Is it Light and Sound?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it's hold on. I literally took a screenshot of it. That's honestly, look, I could miss every other panel, but to see Lawrence Kasdan and Ron Howard with Dennis Murin, all of them talking about this. Oh no, that's what set me over the edge.
It's on
Light and Magic.
Light and Magic. That's it.
Light and Magic.
It's moved quickly up my list of panels that I hope I can get into to check out. I think it's Friday morning at 11.
Yep, that's honestly the one. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, of course, the Lucasfilm Studio one would be awesome, but this right here,
again, speaks to my behind the scenes nerd brain that, I want to see. Did you guys buy any merch? Did you order anything? Was there anything that you saw?
Question.
No, but I severely, viscerally want all of the Starbucks been there, like the new ones. Like, Scotty, did you see the Naboo one?
The Naboo one is sick.
Oh man, like I'm aching. I want those so bad. That, like, Octo,
that's cool.
and Navarro, I think was the other one.
Yeah,
Navarro, which I was like, there's a freaking Navarro cup. That's so crazy. But just I think there's a Life Day Chewy cup as well that they. I don't know if that was revealed today or if.
Oh no,
I maybe just missed that one at Christmas time. I don't know.
Well,
hey,
and
what's the
that stuff I like though?
What was the company that you can get, like, the Clanker? It's the one where you can get the little the thing that 3PO has on his chest. What's that company that has magnets? What are they called?
Regal Robot.
Regal Robot. Did they have a sale today? I was gonna buy something from them today just because I'm feeling good. I didn't know if they happened to have a sale.
They had a little bit of a sale, and they also introduced some new stuff, I think. But,
I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, I might end up buying something. I just love their products. Man, it's amazing
it's some cool stuff. I like that you called it a magnet too, and that like I just picture them using C-3PO as like the refrigerator door of the Falcon or something, like pinning notes to his chest or something. Be right back. Got out to get blue milk or something.
Yes, no doubt. Great. Well, and two of the ones I saw, one of them that I'm not going after. Michael said he had a good point. He said, I got the new Boba Fett itty bitty that dropped today. I think it was Gentle Giant put out the 3PO with the droid, the battle droid head. Clanker, did you see that?
I did not see that. I was, that's offensive, frankly. I think that whole thing is offensive, but
played for a cheap laugh. Is that how you feel?
Yeah, I mean, well, 3PO is questionable anyway, but.
So I did think that was neat, and I have until noon tomorrow to decide. I have never been at a place where I was concerned considering a lightsaber, but the Kenobi Black Series lightsaber that they put up today.
Cool.
I'm real on the fence, and I'm gonna have to make a hard decision by tomorrow.
It is beautiful. I was blown away by
Clanker,
that.
I'm just gonna go ahead and warn you now. For Pete's sake, and for the sake of that studio that I know you get to share space in,
Yes.
They have re-released the Darth Vader helmet with the red eye lenses and some upgraded sound. So you may need to move over a little farther and make room for another helmet.
And the interior is incredible on it.
Have they
the other one
upgraded?
was good. This one's even better.
Well, there's $120 he's going to spend.
And just think, he could have used some of that money to take you to Celebration, but he's not.
You're not making me much happier about it, Nick.
Yeah,
Sorry, pal.
You fold up into a backpack, though, right? Like, anyway, never mind. It's fine. It's fine.
Well, let's do this. We've got a couple of friends who have called in, and we want to talk to them about their Star Wars day. First of all, one of our favorite people, one of our people that we run into all the time, the fabulous and amazing Boop, is present and ready to join us.
Hello, gentlemen. How are we?
My cryptid.
Fantastic. How are you?
Fantastic. How are you, wonderful cryptid?
Oh, I am just, crypting around, just creeping in the forests of West Virginia throughout the Georgia area as well,
Nice.
Scaring
Say hi to the
children.
Flatwoods Monster for me,
Of course. He's my buddy. He lives in my backyard.
Nice.
Boop, did you do anything special for your Star Wars day?
I do what I did every day, and that is appreciate my friends. I made a very sentimental message to our Pickle Friends group chat this morning, and I told them, we would not have the friendship and the community that we have now without Star Wars. And I am insanely thankful for that. Like I said, me and John, we started the podcast that we have, the Nerd Herder podcast. For those of you who don't know, give us a click.
Yep.
We have questionable opinions.
You're gonna love it.
We started that during a very dark time in our lives, and we needed to talk about something that we loved, and we needed hope from that, and so we started a podcast about Star Wars, and it's okay, it's a podcast, palatable garbage, is what I like to say.
Great.
They're good people.
Thank you. You precious, precious boys. Stop it.
And they'll be guests on Nick's Podcast of the Wills next Thursday, a week from tomorrow.
A week from tomorrow.
Dropped his standards.
This guy's always on. He's always on.
Clanker's always ready with a promo.
It's my job. It's the only thing I get to do.
It's programming.
It's true.
My entire existence.
Yeah, like without Star Wars, we would not have I'm gonna call it a family that we've grown over the past few years, and I am very thankful for that. And also,
say a found family, right?
Yeah, they're in the fandom. That's right.
We do that every day, though.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what's great too? These days come around, and it's one of these things. Obviously, with me being a teacher, the kids are like, "May the Fourth be with you" all day. But it's weird. Like a lot of people were like sending me texts that I wouldn't normally text. Say, "May the Fourth be with you." If they know what you do and they're happy to see you happy like that, it's like an acknowledgement, right? It's like, look, we know this is your thing. I hope you had a great day. They might not know we got a Kenobi trailer. They might not know what the hell Apple, the Macintosh ad was. Like, they just don't know these things, but like they know it's special to somebody. And it's kind of cool to see the world, even just for a moment, acknowledge it and kind of focus on the positive aspect of it. Because before you know it, that first episode of Kenobi is going to come out and someone's not going to like it. And it's going to be just part of the experience again. But today...
Because as Pete coined on streaming Star Wars, because the internet likes to be mad.
There you go. Right.
Very true.
I was calling for helicopter lightsabers in live action. So I guess I'm instigating.
Give me my spinny boy.
Yeah. Twitter likes to be mad, not the internet. I got it wrong.
That's right. Good
Twitter
job.
does like to be mad.
Shut up.
That's excellent.
Well, we talked about kind of what you did today, which I love that answer. And you're right. The community that we have, the podcasting community, the streaming, the content creating community, the Twitter friends, the Discord friends, it really does mean something. And we've said it a million times over the last 2 years. when the world shut down, when so many other things went sideways, this was the thing that we still had, and this was the chance that we had to connect with each other. And so I am as equally thankful for my Star Wars friends today, and to get to do this kind of stuff. In fact, on Sundays, normally my wife and I touch base and say, what do we have coming up this week? What are the projects? What are the meetings? What do people have to do? And I said, yeah, I've got a podcast on Wednesday. And she said, you don't normally have one on Wednesday. And before I could say any more, she goes, oh, it's Star Wars Day. Like, she knew that was an important thing, because it is a chance to celebrate this thing that means so much to all of us. So I love that that's been, you know, kind of the big focus of your day. What are you most excited for coming up? I mean, Kenobi's an easy one, but is there something else?
Oh yeah, definitely Kenobi. Like, I am so excited to see where we're going with this story. Because like I've said on our podcast a long time ago, don't go back and listen to old episodes. I'm begging you. Just listen now. I don't know what we would have in a Kenobi show, so I didn't want one for a really long time, because it would just be Obi-Wan sitting in sand, being sad, thinking about his life, which is something that I do pretty often. So why would I want to see that on television? You know. I'll live stream from my bathtub one day, Scotty. Don't worry.
Perfect.
But yeah, like everything I've seen so far has made me more and more excited for what we're gonna get, especially the send all of the bounty hunters idea that we're exploring here. Are we gonna get IG-88? Maybe. Are we gonna get Bosk?
No, that'd be dope.
I cannot wait to see Dan's face when we get Bosk.
He was already bragging today. No Trandoshans. Like, you, racist bastard. You
know what?
He's gonna eat those words.
Boop. I want to say this because I think it's important, because it plays into what you've been saying. Today was like an appetizer, right? We've got our main meal coming up in like 3 weeks. Like, we've got a lot of stuff coming out. Like, truly, like, we've got, not only we're going to get trailers for other stuff, announcements, dates, probably footage for other stuff. We're going to get all kinds of stuff at Celebration on top of the first episode. So leave us with this, Star Wars. Please don't give us any more TV spots. Like, we want to be able to go into this show, just, you know.
Save the stuff. Yeah.
Save it. Like, just keep it easy, you know?
Let us have this palate cleanser before we get into the real meaty stuff. Like, this is like the blue shrimp salad that you eat at on the boat, not the boat, the ship. You know?
On the spaceship.
You know what I mean? The blue shrimp.
All right,
the Kool-Aid shrimp. Yeah,
that's right. Well, I'm so glad that you have jumped in to share with us tonight. Before we get you out of here, I'm going to give Clanker the last word. Clanker, do you have any questions for Boop? Anything you need to follow up on? Any business between the two of you?
No, but next time you do your roasts, man, tie me on, man. I would love to be a part of that with you. Because as you know, I don't seem to like anybody, so I would be happy to help. And I have opinions. Oh, I have opinions.
Oh, he has opinions.
I'd be happy to be a part of it. All right, yeah, let's team up and roast the internet.
Of course.
Love it. Fantastic. Boop, thank you so much for jumping in tonight. It's so good to see you, and we hope that you have a fabulous rest of the last little bit of your Star Wars day.
Of course. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Absolutely. See you soon.
Stay Bombad, Boop. Stay Bombad.
I said,
I'm important.
Look at you.
I was
all right. So that was a ton of fun. We're so thankful for Boop jumping in. We have another caller. Yes. We have another good friend. Brian is here. Are y'all want to talk to Brian?
I love
Brian. Yeah, bring him in.
Brian.
Scotty, you are very special.
That's right.
And I love it.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
The most special, some might say.
Oh.
How are you, my friend?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
We're excellent.
Doing great.
We're glad to see you tonight.
I'm happy to, I forego my pre-work nap so I could come hang out with you guys tonight.
Hey,
there we go.
You are special.
I got my coffee.
See,
nice.
There you go.
Just do what I do. Nap while you're at work.
No, but my Star Wars day started out, overnight. Strangely, my Star Wars night started out watching Moon Knight, But then we quickly, right after that, I went into watching a random surprise recording of Bombad that popped up.
Hey.
What's that? What?
Yep. Been a while since we've done one of those.
Quite a few dry shavings and fart surprises in that one.
Mm-hmm.
I think there were. So yes.
Yeah. I tried to get some Ahsoka hilts, but that didn't work out.
Oh, dude.
No, you can still get them on eBay for like $900.
Yeah, but no.
And
just trying to help you out, my friend. I'm just, you know, I can point you in the direction, but you have to make the move.
Well, and I saw somebody else make the point on Twitter at some point after all those other messages came out, because you weren't the only one that got shafted on the Ahsoka hilts. Several people pointed out they're the same ones as the Galaxy's Edge ones. They just have a fancier box that comes with it.
Wow. Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, it's an extra $100 box essentially.
Yeah, exactly. As one
with
does.
with a serial number on it.
That's
See?
right.
There you go.
Biggest difference.
That's what you want, so you can file it off. Right?
Absolutely.
I mean,
Did
other
you check
than
out that gallery episode?
No, my plan is to not do that at work tonight.
Nice.
Yeah,
but
I like where your head's at.
Yeah, but after listening to Tatooine Sons, I went and watched The Last Jedi tonight.
My man.
Oh, that's
Nice.
great. Good choice.
Yes.
Why, if you don't mind me asking, why Last Jedi?
It's just one of those, you know, it got in my head after Dave posted and was asking for the little voice clips and stuff that I recorded one at 3 in the morning. It sounded like I was doing it at 3 in the morning. But this morning this afternoon after I woke up, we threw on the Last Jedi while we were waiting for my kids to get home from school.
Nice.
And then we all watched it when they got home.
That's awesome. It's funny, I guess my brain right now, and I'm sure many of us are like, Kenobi, let's get some prequels in, you know, let's really focus on, you know, kind of where we are in terms of canon. But TLJ would have been the one, if I had not been thinking about Kenobi this whole day in these past 2 weeks, I would have probably watched a sequel trilogy movie as well, just because it's still refreshing, right? It doesn't feel like you're rewatching something you grew up watching, so it's still new to you. So that was a good choice, Brian. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
we just did the prequel series at my house a couple weeks ago. So
nice.
That's the way to go. That's the way to go.
I just started that with my kids last weekend. My wife was out of town for work, and my oldest child of the twins, I've talked about this a million times, she's my Star Wars kid. Everybody else is, you know, either don't care or passing interest or whatever. But my middle child, who's about to be 10, she came to me a couple weeks ago. She's like, Dad, I really want to learn about Star Wars. Will you? I was like, yes, of course.
Oh, yeah.
So I just thought, let's start
you.
with, episode 1 and let's work our way through. So Mom was out of town. So Friday night we watched 1. Saturday night we watched 2.
Nice.
And even the other twin, who usually doesn't really care about Star Wars, she's like, oh, I can't wait for the next one. Like, I've kind of got them in this moment right now. Where they're hooked and they want to keep going. So we're working our way through, and we'll see how long it lasts. But I love that you kind of had that recent prequel moment, because we've done that too.
That's your child saying, Dad, you're neglecting me. I'll do whatever you need me to do. Pay attention to me.
I'll do your dumb
I'll watch
hobby.
the Space Wizards, please.
No, well, she knew we were going down to Galaxy's Edge, so that's why we did it.
Oh, that's smart too. That's smart too. Yeah, the Galaxy's Edge route, and then that's all sequel trilogy based as well. Like you got all those things you can focus on. And that's the crazy thing is, and look, I gotta say it right now, just because it's important. Disney has done nothing but great things with the brand, especially May the 4th. Before 2015, I don't even know if it existed. Right? Like I didn't think it was actually a thing. So here we are now, and we've got all these special things that are dropping on this day. Like they're finally taking advantage of it. With Bad Batch last year, this year, Kenobi. I mean, we got all kinds of cool stuff. The gallery episode. So it's just, it's pretty dope. It's awesome. It's been a good day. It's been a really good day.
It's been a fantastic day. And Brian, I'm so glad that you jumped in to share with us about your day. It's good to see your face. It's good to hear your voice. And
good to see all you boys.
You're gonna, it's good. We know you're gonna have to start getting ready to do work
Clanker
again soon. So you skipped that nap just for us. Clanker.
That's very polite of you.
That's right. Make the droid feel like a person too.
I don't want to feel like a person. Trust me.
Awesome. Well, Brian, thank you so much for coming in tonight, and we're going to send you on your way. And
all right, guys.
We're going to hopefully see you again sometime soon.
All right, awesome.
Thanks, Brian.
Awesome. May the force be with you.
May the force be stay Bombad.
That's right.
Hey, Bombad. Woo!
Make your big now.
I hope the next time. Oh, look at Nick. I hope the next time he rides his motorcycle that he doesn't get a Baby Yoda stuck in his mask.
Yeah, that's
again.
crazy.
That was unfortunate.
Yeah, it tends to be the thing that happens if you're not careful. Well, we've got another caller.
Gotta be careful.
If y'all are ready.
Oh, we do.
Clanker, I hope that you can be civil. You know, this is
I hope
one
it's
of our,
someone who has
another of our
perfect
friends.
eyesight. That's all.
I make no promises, for sure.
Basically, what I'm saying is, please don't make fun of our callers' visual issues that are noted publicly.
Oh,
but we're excited to welcome Connor. Connor,
There he is.
hey!
Hello.
Hi, Connor.
Happy
What's
Star
up,
Wars
Connor?
Day, friend.
I love Connor.
Wait, aren't you friends with that Jared guy?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I
He
won't hold
lost
that
to me in
against you, but
trivia. For those that don't know, he actually lost to me.
Hold it against me. We're having a civil war. Not the Lucasfilm. No, this is not a Lucasfilm civil war, everybody. This is even worse. We're having a Nerd Academy civil war.
what is going on at Nerd Academy?
It's
What does Kathleen Kennedy have to do with it? That's what I want to know.
here's the thing.
Embry Larson.
Who's the woke one? That's what I want to know.
Jerry, here's the inside scoop. I think Michael's
Oh, give it
multiple
to me.
sources can confirm this.
Okay.
Everything, all those videos that everyone has said about, like, oh, this Lucasfilm Civil War, Dave and John versus Kathy Kennedy. It's all fit. It's all just
I'd
code
like to see
names.
that wrestling match, though.
It's all just code names. It's all pseudonyms for the Civil War that's actually happening at the Nerd Academy podcast. It's all a cover.
Breaking
It's all a deep cover.
And
So
Eli's in charge.
Doomcock is following Nerd Academy and making all these videos. Okay, hey, wow, it
Doomcock is
sounds
a
like it should be
plant,
called Delusional Academy.
We do get pretty delusional at times, so.
I do love the Nerd Academy, though. I can't lie. Jared, I don't love, but the rest of you guys are pretty good.
That's right.
Fantastic. Connor, how did you spend your Star Wars Day?
So, legitimately, I woke up, checked my phone, saw that the Kenobi trailer dropped, so I watched it in bed, and I was like, fuck yeah, this was dope.
He busted a bolt.
And then I rewatched it just because, like, I just woke up and watched a Star Wars trailer, like, half asleep. So, like, probably not the best thing to do.
Yeah.
So I rewatched it, and I'm like, all right, that was really cool. Watched the gallery episode of Book of Boba Fett, which I thought was pretty cool. There was one Jon Favreau quote I really liked about, you know, let me see if I can pull it up that I wrote down.
Yeah. While Connor's doing some research, I just want to admit,
notes.
I just look at Connor. I love this man. This is literally to hear his voice. And Connor and I are in love with each other. I really think Connor and I, once I kill Katie, once I poison Katie and she dies, how am I going to end up? You'll know my plan.
Your Honor, would you play the tape again? Thank you.
I've already.
Wow.
This has been
I thought we were supposed to run away together.
No, once she's run her course, I'm going to kill her. I'm going to marry a lunch lady. She's going to cook for me. I'm going to marry my best friend, Chase. He's going to be my sugar daddy. Then I'm going to off him somehow, probably in some sort of accident. And then I'm going to marry Connor at the ripe age of 84. And Connor and I are going to
Scotty Jero, Black Widower.
Well, I just want to be Connor's eyes. That's all I want. I want to carry Connor, and I want him to be Yoda on my back. And I just want to be like, all right, Connor, we're going through the mall right now. And he's like, where are we?
Connor is a short king like me, I believe, as well. So, like, I think he could fit on your back, Scotty.
I could. I'm kind of a lightweight too, so like it could actually work.
Yes, here we go.
So the quote is that John said was, Star Wars has to be about each character facing certain obstacles, usually emotional ones as well as physical ones. And I'm just like, yes. Yeah. John.
Wow, so basically he said it needs a story.
Yeah, which kind of doesn't.
Am I the only one that is like, well, yeah, I mean, yeah, you need anyway. All right, I'm sorry. But
Connor, don't let that robot speak to you like that.
I'm sorry. Again, remember it's Jared that I don't like, Connor, not you. I'm not proposing on this episode, however.
You guys lost the Clone Wars. I don't want to hear it.
Hey, I didn't lose the Clone Wars. It was that Sidious guy.
But he also won,
really,
though, didn't he?
Kind of won it too.
Well, he disappeared.
Wait a minute.
Are you telling me that they just shipped me off for no reason?
Yeah.
And now I'm hurt on top of everything else.
Yeah,
I thought the stormtroopers brought in because they wanted to keep us safe.
Yeah, I want to say you were supposed to be shipped to Mustafar, but I think that order got lost in translation. So
yeah, it's possible. It is possible.
May have gotten 66th.
I was gonna say something else, but yeah. Basically,
dined, wined, and 66.
Oh boy! All right, Connor. Let me ask you this before we get you out of here. Let me ask you this before we get you out of here. If we take Kenobi off the table, what is the next thing in Star Wars that you're excited about?
High Republic.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Yes,
High Republic and the second Fallen Order game, whenever it comes out.
Wait, Connor. Did this give your Fallen Order heart did your heart palpitate? Like, did it explode when you saw, all of the Purge Trooper in the back? Like, did you freak out for a second there?
Surprisingly, no. I freaked out when Mike Chen, the author of Star Wars, the upcoming novel Star Wars Brotherhood, he released an excerpt today. And yes, that is true, Boop. I'm getting new glasses in June. So I will be able to see out of my right eye again.
Nice.
So
the little things, right?
I will go from Connor the One-Eyed Knight to Connor the Two-Eyed Knight, and I will keep this bit going. Speaking, no, I can't say the one bit that'll give it away. Never mind. I can't.
In the meantime,
some of you know.
That's right. In the meantime,
most of us don't.
Good.
May or may not be for a reason, Clanker. I'm just saying.
Oh,
well, Connor, in the meantime, thanks for popping in tonight. Thanks for joining us, telling us about your Star Wars Day. I hope the last little bit of it that you have left is fantastic, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on, guys.
See you, buddy.
Thanks, buddy.
We're thankful for you, Connor.
I'm important. Oh, come on. Wait, I'm the host now, right? I'm the captain now, right? Because I'm in the top.
Jerry's the captain now. We'll fix that. No problem.
Let's not do that. Please fix it. We'll crash.
Gentlemen, this has been so much fun.
We're still flying half a ship.
Are we doing this?
Look what live. Look what live, y'all.
What happened?
What happened here?
Breaking news.
Looks like a NASCAR.
It does. It's kind of weird. Look at this. It does look like NASCAR. Well, just to let everyone know watching, we do have my reaction video live right now, and I'm not going to play it just so you can go and watch it. There's a couple of really good faces in here. This one might be my new favorite faces. This one is mine. I was very excited to hear. This is me reacting to Owen speaking. Can you imagine what's going to be like at Celebration when there's a full line of dialogue?
Did they give him a prosthetic nose? Because he looks like he's got the Uncle Owen, broken mashed potato nose.
You might be right.
A little bit there.
The alcoholism nose. That's there.
And I mean, yeah, like I hold all my weight in the tip of my nose, right? Look, I tell because Joel Edgerton doesn't have a nose like that.
I don't think so. They might have done.
I'm sorry, I'm just noticing this with the stills.
Yeah, you got to develop some continuity between that original actor.
Yeah. That's interesting. I like it. Raven, what's up, boo?
Raven! All right. Finally. I don't know what that means.
Did
anybody decipher that yet?
Clank your legs. What's that?
Oh, on the wanted poster?
Yeah, the wanted poster.
Did anybody decipher that?
Yeah,
yet?
it was like it was something along the lines
It
of
says
like
wanted.
it says wanted, but it also says like target high priority and something else. Like it was like bounty on site. So like there's like it wasn't anything crazy. But I think it's a promo shot that was never released from Revenge of the Sith. I've never seen that photo.
Go back to that shot of him fighting in the hallway.
Yeah.
Right after this.
Yeah.
It looked like, is that a Zabrak?
That is definitely a Zabrak. I'll do a slow. Yeah, look, it's definitely.
I didn't notice that earlier.
Is it Dominic Pace?
Oh, that'd be awesome, wouldn't it? He would love that. Let's see. Wait, hold on. Yeah, and it's kind of cool to see Obi-Wan fighting physically as well. That's pretty.
I thought the physical parts and the blaster parts, because of course what we get with him and the blaster in Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith, so uncivilized, that whole thing. But he's also hiding out. So we get this blaster shot. We get the one on the roof from the first trailer.
This, by the way, this looks like a force throw, but no, it's not. It's like I'm pushing him. That's what that is.
Yeah, it's the droid. Yeah.
I wonder right here, who could they be fighting right here? Because this is on Dur. That is on the. That has to be on the. On the Inquisitor base.
Fortress Inquisitorius.
Yeah, like that. I feel like that has to be there.
I think it's Obi-Wan breaking out.
Or it could be Kumail. Look at this.
Look at that. Look.
Kumail. Yep.
Kumail.
This is also a cool design. A little like droid looking thing with wings.
A little droid CD player.
Mm-hmm. This is a great shot, by the way. Oh, the arms.
Yes.
It's Terminator, man.
This trailer gave you everything you wanted, but not everything you needed. Never mind. Gave you everything you needed, but not everything you wanted in the best way possible.
Look at that world-weary face.
I know.
Like
God,
that.
It's like the perfect in between of Alec Guinness and Ewan McGregor.
Yeah.
It's like
and
perfect.
Scotty, I think you tweeted about it, but even the adjustment in the Disney Plus logo with it being the red saber instead of the blue one before, the green one.
Pretty cool.
Eric had a good point. He said that droid kind of looked like a mini R4. It had the
that's cool. That'd be awesome.
He put his intelligence in a tiny little like Furby droid or something.
That'd be
awesome.
Like
he really likes droids and stuff. He's like, that's the whole headcanon now is he's got like R4's consciousness in that little compact in his back pocket through A New Hope. There you go. Yeah. He's lying.
Well, gentlemen,
Jerry's getting all kind of love in the chat.
That's right.
Jerry shout
Hey, thank you.
Look at this. Maximum MC.
Shout me and Max out. Tell us what she told us about your podcast.
This is awesome.
Whoa, Wyatt and Max, thank you.
And Boop's going to put Jerry's consciousness in a Furby when he dies. So I was thinking Cookie Cop,
but that would be through. That'll be through. I think Voodoo. That won't be through. Like that'll be just like Chucky, but like more like this. If the Hangover meets Chucky, I think is what that's going to be more like.
There it is.
Look at this, Jerry. Your mom's bringing some students in. This is awesome.
My mother is telling people about my. All right.
This has become a. Clanker.
All right, welcome Wyatt. Welcome back.
Podcast.
There's all kinds of jokes to go into about Jerry's mom, but I love the lady. I really do.
She's got it going on, but
Jerry's mom has got it going on. Yeah.
I love this. This is incredible. It's usually my students, but this time it's Jerry's mother's students.
Well, my mom's students are in the chat. All right, what's up, guys?
ATG Cast and Bombadcast are nothing if not popular with the middle school crowd.
Yes, we are very popular with them.
Well, Nick, obviously the intro to this stream, and by the way, I hope everyone had a great May the 4th. The intro to this stream was streaming Star Wars. Is it fair if we do a Bombadcast outro?
It's 100% fair, and I was just heading in the same direction that you were. So before we get out of here, before we get that Bombadcast outro,
it was Nick's idea.
It's time for a couple of plugs. Clanker,
That's
we're
right.
going to let you go first. Do you have anything you need to promote? Anything that Pete's doing that you want to talk about?
Well, Pete's dropping another episode tomorrow that's not me as the guest, but it is a couple people who have art that will be at Star Wars Celebration that I won't be at, but more salt in the wound, if you will. But yeah, so he's got an episode this tomorrow, and yeah, I think that's the best that I can. And of course, that news show on Saturday mornings.
Hey,
Absolutely.
also the
Fantastic.
episode where you talked, or I guess I'm sorry, not you, Cranker, where Pete talked to Scott Chernoff and Dan Madsen, my all-time favorite episode of ATG. Y'all re-released that, right? And kind of revamped a little bit of it?
Yeah, and I think the most important thing about Star Wars Celebration 1 was there was the very first full-size battle droid on display, and that was at Star Wars Celebration number 1.
That's like
With the
Robert E.
dangle
Lee
weeds.
statue in New Orleans. Like that's like
And
the
everything.
same equivalent, right?
Yeah, except they tore mine down.
Well, they tore Robert E. Lee's down too. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause the only difference
That
was
was-
Steven
that was a
Spielberg tore yours down. Okay.
yeah,
That's
Steven
that's
Spielberg
important,
did
yeah.
tear you
Yeah.
dangle weed.
The dangle
Dangle
weed.
weed. I will never
You
forget
had to put it on
Spielberg.
backwards.
You know, he asked me to be in a couple films, and there's just no way after the disrespect he showed my people with the dangle weed. What the hell's the matter with him? I'll show him a dangle weed, if you know what I'm saying.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
Okay,
Don't tell my
Scotty
mom,
Jerry.
guys.
Scotty and Jerry, Bombadcast
Well-
tomorrow night. What do you guys have going on?
We're reviewing
Oh.
Multiverse of Madness right after
Yes.
it drops. We're going to be going to the movie. It's going to be a late stream of Bombadcast.
Late one.
Might not be too long unless we do get some crazy stuff. I almost forget that's happening tomorrow. Like that's going to be a
I do too.
wild flick. So we got
And
that.
we're gonna have like it's all spoilers too. So again, if
Yeah,
you're not watching it
fully
tomorrow, you might want to wait
Mhm.
until after you watch Multiverse of Madness.
That's right.
But yeah, on Bombadcast, we are gonna be that's what we're gonna be covering tomorrow. So and what else we got going on, Scotty?
I know we got a couple of things in the works for Celebration. Obviously, if you haven't yet, make
Yes.
sure you get your Mountain Dew Stay Bombad logo shirt. I got some
Yes.
buttons on the way. We got a lot of fun stuff planned for you. I know. Pete and Nick do as well for Celebration. So we're gonna do like kind of a celebration in the next 2 weeks, more than likely. Plans and discussion for what we're gonna end up doing at the convention itself. But I had a great time this evening. Nick, thank you for putting this together, sincerely.
Yes,
This is
thank
something
you.
I didn't realize I needed to do. This was a fun night. Seriously.
Absolutely. So
And,
much
and thank
fun.
you, Clanker, as well for allowing us to be in the same space as you.
Well, thank you all for being with us, and I wish I had something more wise-ass to say, but I have apparently run out of comments, but that has never stopped me from just talking and talking and talking, so
Nope.
make sure to follow us on all your... No, we're not doing that part? Okay, all right.
Wait,
Have an
Cranker,
off
Yes.
switch.
Cranker, you can do the Stay Bombad. Have you ever heard of this? Our show has this little tagline where we say Stay Bombad. Can you actually give us a good Stay Bombad before we play our little outro clip?
I absolutely can. Stay Bombad. Yeah, I can do it, see?
Impossible? Pasquale? Only kidding, Chucky. I've changed my tune because I finally thought of a possible dream that we can all share. What is it?
Pasquale?
It's a dream about a world when nobody is poor or sick or hungry.
Oh, now that's a dream we can make come true.
I'm gonna make a change for once in my life. It's gonna feel real good, gonna make a difference, gonna make it right.
As I point up the collar on my favorite winter coat, this wind is blowing my mind.
I see the kids in the street with not enough to eat. Who am I to be blind, pretending not to see their need? A soundless disregard, a broken bottle top,
And a one-man soul, they follow each other on the
Jared lost to me in trivia. 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 Jared lost to me.